4 high schools, 7 middle schools, 1 college, and a university, and much more. Now introducing your most comprehensive weekly local sports show in Madison County, the Richmond Register Sports Show. The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Here's your host for all things local sports, the Richmond Register sports editor, Nathan Hutchinson.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. My name is Nathan Hutchinson. I'm the sports editor of the Richmond Register, and we very much appreciate you tuning in this week. Coming up in just a few minutes, we will have one of the winningest high school football coaches in the history of Kentucky on with us. That's Madison Central's Mike Holcomb. Obviously won a lot of games over at Breathitt County and some state championships, but he's now leading the Madison Central football program, and the Indians are off to a 4-1 start to the season. They were off this past week, but they'll be back in action this coming Friday at home against a really good Pikeville team. So we'll talk to him about his team and that upcoming matchup with Pikeville here in just a few minutes. But as we always do, we want to start off this show with a recap of the week in Madison County sports, and we'll start off at the very top with EKU football. The Colonels, a very interesting matchup on Saturday evening at Roy Kidd Stadium against a former and also future conference rival. I know that sounds confusing, but let me explain. EKU and Austin Peay were in the OVC together for about 60 years. And of course, last season, EKU announced that they would be leaving the OVC to join the Atlantic Sun. And last week, Austin Peay also announced that they were leaving the OVC to join the Atlantic Sun. So when these teams met 2 years ago at Roy Kidd Stadium, it was a OVC game. And when they meet next year, it'll be an A-Sun game. But this year, it is a regular season non-conference matchup of two pretty good teams. And quite frankly, EKU really needed a good performance. On Saturday, they were 1-2 after just a crushing loss at home to Indiana State on the final play of the game. And the Colonels rose to the occasion, led by a very spirited effort from their defense, and it was EKU 35 and Austin Peay 27. The Governors came into this game 2-1 and ranked 19th or 20th, depending on which poll you looked at. And they went out to a 17-7 lead, and it looked like it was going to be trouble time for the Colonels, but EKU rallied, and it was Parker McKinney with 2 touchdown passes and a touchdown run, and DeJohn Hewitt had a touchdown run as well. And after the game, we had a chance to talk to EKU coach Walt Wells, who talked about the team's victory.
It's fun to win, and we're excited for our players, we're excited for our staff, excited for our fans. You know, I think our team came out tonight and showed that they can play 60 minutes. Was it perfect? No. It's like I told them in the locker room, it wasn't perfect. And that's what we're striving for every day. But, you know, it was enough to win the game. They made plays when they needed to make plays. I'm very proud of our players and the resiliency and how they handled everything coming from last week. You know, it started Monday after our meetings, and we went on the field, and you can tell there's a different focus from them. And then on Tuesday, they came out and practiced well. Wednesday, they practiced well. Thursday, I had to get them cranking a little bit, and they responded well. And I think that shows a maturity that's coming. Now, they're going to have to do that next week and every week. But very proud of how our players handled it. The leadership is coming from the players and more. And like I said, just very proud of our coaches and the plan they put together. That's a really good football team. Got a lot of good players, a lot of speed. Quarterback's a really good player, and for us to play the way we did, both offense, defense, and special teams, I was really pleased with it. With that, I'll open it up for any questions.
All right, big win for not just this team, but probably for the EKU program at this point. Trying to build a lot of excitement in the second season under Coach Wells, and this was a really huge win for them. A little more recap of the game. It was Jaden Smith had a touchdown catch, and really, to me, it was the defense. I mean, it was the defense was on the field for 91 snaps for more than 32 minutes. They rose to the occasion. They had 3 interceptions. It was Matthew Jackson with an interception on the final offensive play of the game for Austin Peay, which really helped seal the win. And for the second straight week, it was Davion Ross with a pick 6, and it was amazing. It was in almost the exact same spot on the field as last week against Indiana State. So here's Davion Ross talking about his second pick 6 in the past 2 weeks.
Well, Davion, that was like an instant replay. You're almost the same part of the field, same corner of the end zone as last week. So did you get a little deja vu there?
Yes, sir. You know, coach made the play, and I broke on the ball pretty good, and you got the end results.
Yeah, you guys on defense were out there for 91 snaps today. I mean, and you rotated a lot of guys in. Of course, you guys have some guys out as well. So how did you guys stay out there for 91 snaps?
Everybody really, we got to the sideline, everybody's complaining about they tired and all this and all that. But, playmakers got to make plays. We got to step up.
All right, well, congratulations to Davion Ross and the defense. A really spirited, almost heroic effort from that defense. And they gave up 400 yards of offense, but it was over 91 snaps, like I said, and they really came up with big plays at the big time. And like I said, just a huge win for that program. If they'd fallen to 1-3, that would have been a hard hole to climb out of going into some really tough conference games coming up. But in front of another nice crowd, the second straight nice crowd at Roy Kidd Stadium, the Colonels come up with a victory. They will continue their 4-game homestand this weekend against Tarleton State. Moving on to high school football, we only had 2 games this week as Madison Central was off. But Berea Community was back at Dewerson Stadium coming off a loss on the road to Pineville. And it was also the defense that stepped up for the Pirates. Berea forced 5 turnovers in a 34-0 win at home over Jackson County. It was their first shutout in 3 years. The 25-game stretch where they didn't have a shutout. It was Jaden Cunningham with 5 rushing touchdowns, Joe Collins with an interception and a fumble return, and Logan Abney with an interception. He returned for a touchdown. And afterwards, our buddy Ricky Elkins got a chance to talk to Berea Community coach Frank Parks Jr.
We're here with Coach Parks with the Berea head coach football. Big game tonight, homecoming, and the Pirates came here to play in their first shutout. Your words on this?
The guys are finally learning how, to play some fundamentally sound football and just play the next play. Defense, I've been close a couple games, and tonight they finished. We've been talking about executing offensively and finishing defensively, and they came out and played great tonight.
I know the defense made your offense look really good. I know Cunningham, 3 touchdowns.
Yes, he ran the ball well. We have been doing a great job winning the line of scrimmage. Even last week in a loss, I thought we did very well up front. And, when you got Jaden back there running behind them and Cruz and Cody Roberts, then, we got a pretty good running game. But the line of scrimmage, the offensive line is doing a great job. Like I told them, we win and lose up front, and, they dominate the line of scrimmage tonight.
Now, another name that we don't hear that often, Isaiah Dorsey. Tell me a little bit about that. I know we got a little excited there.
Yeah, well, he decided to come out late. Cruz, I've been talking to him. They're good friends early in the summer. And he didn't come out, and I had him in class. We established a relationship. So he finally came out. This is his first game, and he played very well. He's a good athlete. We just got to polish up some things and teach him some fundamentals, but he's going to be a big-time threat for us in the future.
Okay. So next week, nobody here? What's the plan?
Well, we got a few guys banged up, so we're going to get them healthy, and, we're going to go back to the basics, the fundamentals, and prepare for KCD. They top of 1A, so we got a tough test coming here in 2 weeks, so, we got a little extra time to prepare, so we're going to make sure we get our guys ready.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. And here we are with a 34-0 win against Jackson County.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach, and thanks to our buddy Ricky for getting that interview for us. Clayton Martinez had 2 interceptions. Isaiah Dorsey, in his first real varsity game, had a touchdown catch. And the Pirates moved to 3-3 on the season. They'll be back. They'll actually be off this week, and they'll be back in action in 2 weeks at home against the district favorite in that district, Kentucky Country Day. Across town over at Madison Southern, it was the Eagles suffering a 27-19 loss to district rival Collins. This was a very, very interesting game in the fact that there weren't a lot of possessions, a lot of really long drives. I don't think either team punted the entire game, and it was Southern was down 27-6 at the half. They got 2 second-half touchdowns to get back in the game, but simply could not get the ball back in the final seconds. Collins just kind of played keep away and ran out the clock. It was Stephen Whitehead with 3 rushing touchdowns. He carried the ball 26 times for 182 yards. Cole Carpenter was 4 of 7 for 64 yards with an interception, which unfortunately was returned for a touchdown. And Walter Smith had 3 catches for 55 yards. And after the game, we talked to Madison Southern coach John Clark.
Coach, I thought you really had the momentum there in the second half, and you just ran out of time. If you'd gotten the ball back one more time, maybe you could have tied it up, but just ran out of time.
We recovered 3 kicks on side and didn't get a single one of them given to us. We were offsides one of those times, but the other 2 were ours. So that's frustrating. They've got to make the right call in those situations because it really affects the game. Really proud of our team and the way we fought in the second half. That was the best half of football we have played yet by far.
Yeah, I mean, really, and it was offensively, it was a lot of Stephen Whitehead, and that young man ran hard, picked up huge yards, and kept the chains moving.
We've just been challenging the line to get the run game going, and it finally, we finally got the run game going tonight, which has been what we've been missing, and that was really exciting to see. Stephen ran his butt off. First guy wasn't bringing him down. Really proud of the way he ran, proud of the way the line played in the second half.
You guys made some adjustments. Gooden in the first half was kind of all over you. He kind of did what he wanted to with some big, huge fourth down conversions. You contained him a little better in the second half.
He's a really good player. I mean, he's extremely underrated. He's as good as you're going to play. So I think our guys did a great job of adjusting. We made a few adjustments. We were aligned wrong sometimes in the first half. So we got those adjustments worked out, and our guys did a really good job of being patient in their pursuit in the second half. I think they did a great job. We left the defense on the field too long in the second half still. We've got to keep the ball on offense longer. We've got to convert when we can, but we played a better half for sure.
Yeah, it was like keep away. You only had the ball twice in the second half.
I know. I feel like that's been the case. It's like we either have the ball a lot or don't in a quarter scenario, so we've got to get more consistent with time of possession.
First district game, 3 more to go, so just got to move forward, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, if we keep getting better every half, which we are, then we're going to be fine. We're not out of it by any means.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, well, thanks, Coach. And like I said, Southern only had the ball twice in the second half. They scored both times, but the second time on a Stephen Whitehead run, but just could not get the ball back in the final minutes there. And Southern did have some players back this week. We've talked quite a bit here recently about how they've been kind of decimated by health and safety protocol issues and also some injuries, but they did have some kids back, and which was good to see. So they'll be back in action against another district rival Friday against East Jessamine over in Nicholasville. And heading into high school golf news here, and this coming week is the regional for both the boys and girls. Monday, the girls will have their regional up at Lakeside in Lexington, and the boys will be over here at Gibson Bay on Tuesday. But on Saturday, we got a little preview of the girls' regional because the Madison Central girls were at Lakeside to play in the Kentucky Golf Coaches Association Invitational Tournament, and it was the Lady Indians and LCA both posting identical scores of 298. And it was Madison Central getting the victory in a scorecard matchup. Lydia Harrell with a 72, she tied for second. Elizabeth Eberly with a 73, Claire Beth Ramsey with a 75, Molly Neely with a 78, and Abby Buchanan with an 84. Like I said, very interesting. These same two teams will probably be the two favorites on Monday at the regional tournament on the same golf course. So we got a little preview of the region event there. So it should be a great event on Monday, and we'll have to see who wins this time. They tweeted out that a Madison Central girls golf account on Twitter tweeted out that they're ready for the rematch on Monday, so it should be very thrilling. And also the Madison Central boys were also in action on Saturday at Lakeside as well, also at the Kentucky Golf Coaches Association Invitational, and they rolled to their 9th tournament title of the season, posting a 286, beating out Oldham County by 13 strokes. And get this, they had the top 3 individual finishers in the event. Warren Thomas with a 67, Gavin McKeon with a 70, and Clay Pendergrass with a 71. They go 1, 2, 3 at the top of the leaderboard. Hayden Wash with a 78, and Cooper Eberly with a 79. And so they'll be back in action, like I said, Tuesday at Gibson Bay. And they'll be the heavy, heavy favorites to win that region over there and advance to the state tournament. But like we talked about last week with Coach Congleton and Coach Orr, it's a one-day event, and only the top team gets to go on to the state. So it is definitely a pressure-packed situation, but we think the Indians are definitely up to the challenge. Moving on to boys soccer action, we had 2 district matchups this past weekend. It was Madison Central taking on Model on Tuesday over here at Eastern Kentucky University, and it was the Indians moving to 15-0-1 on the season with a 9-0 victory. It was Gavin O'Shea with 3 goals, giving him 33 on the season, and Sam Hughes with 2 goals and 3 assists. And Ethan Weiss, who used to play at Model, he scored a goal against his former team. And after the game, we got a chance to talk to Gavin O'Shea and Ethan Weiss.
All right, we're here at Eastern Kentucky University where Madison Central has rolled to a 9-0 win over Model. That's Ethan Weiss. That's Gavin O'Shea. Ethan, your first game back here against your former teammates, former team, kind of what were your emotions playing on this field again in a different jersey?
I'm not going to – I just wanted to score goals, win the game. I wasn't going to come out here and score and try to celebrate, rub it in their face, whatever. But they played well. They really stuck to their high line. It tripped us up a couple times, so I commend them for that. They played a good game.
Yeah, I mean, you probably had the prettiest goal of the game. I mean, you came down the left side, you had a guy draped all over you, and you tucked it right in the top right corner.
Appreciate it.
Talk about that play.
I was struggling to get the ball wide and do something with it out there, so I tucked in the middle, came in, received it, and just used my speed, I guess.
Yeah, Gavin, 3 more goals for you, 33 on the year. Like Ethan was saying, they play a style where they press up, and that kind of forces a lot of offsides. So it's only 3-0 at the half. How did you guys make an adjustment there to kind of get some more open looks?
The high line definitely threw us for a spin there. That wasn't something we were used to. The other teams haven't really done that. And Model played it really well, threw us off. But going into the second half, we definitely had to play in our own half there, spread them out. And them spread out allowed us to play through finally and got us some chances.
Yeah, I mean 15-0-1 guys and coming in obviously a big matchup Saturday against Ryle at home. So you guys got to feel pretty good about where you're at this point of the season.
I think we're just ready to be tested, and I think you can agree on that too.
Good, definitely.
We played some great teams and we've had some great scores, but we want to really challenge ourselves and play someone who is on our level, and I think that Ryle will be a good thing to do that.
All right. We'll see you Saturday night. Congratulations.
All right. Thanks to Gavin and Ethan for taking a moment to talk to us after the game. And you saw the guys there in the video talking about winning a challenge, and they certainly got that on Saturday when Ryle came to Richmond for a battle of undefeated teams. There's only 4 undefeated teams left in the state, and Central and Ryle are 2 of the 4. And it was a tremendous match on Saturday over at Bellevue, and ended in a scoreless tie. Lots of chances for both teams. Lupe Bartolo had a really good look at the goal with about 7 minutes left, and Nolan Yance made a couple of big saves for Central as well, but ended up in a 0-0 tie. So Central moves to 15-0-2 on the season. They'll be back at home in action on Tuesday at home against Mercer County. Madison Southern boys soccer team is getting healthy and picking up wins all over the place. 5 straight wins now. They picked up 2 last week. Starting off on Tuesday with an 8-0 win at home over Berea Community. It was Rue Limmer with 3 goals and an assist. And kind of the feel-good, cool story about this game was Austin Shepard, who's been the goaltender for the last 3 to 4 years for Madison Southern. He got a chance in the second half to go up and play out in the field, and he scored his first ever varsity goal. So after the game, we got a chance to talk to Austin Shepard and Coach Andrew Lunsford.
We are here at Madison Southern High School where the Eagles have picked up an 8-0 win over district rival Berea Community. That's Austin Shepard. That's Coach Andrew Lunsford. And Austin, we know you as a goalie. Obviously, you've won district championships in goal, but tonight you got a chance to play up your senior year, and you were able to get your first ever career goal. And what was that feeling like?
It was just great playing all of my 4 years here, and it just scoring that goal really capped off my senior year. Pretty great.
Yeah, you got in, played goal in the first half, and you got in the second. Would you campaign to get in there, or did the coaches encourage you, or kind of how did that break down?
It was kind of 50-50. I really wanted to finally score my varsity goal because I've never gotten to score one, but I have gotten to score one for JV, and I just love the feeling.
Yeah, you came flying through the middle there. The goalie made a good save, and the rebound kind of came out. What was going through your head as that ball was kind of laying there on the ground?
I was just hoping I didn't miss because everybody would have just made fun of me for it, and hopefully I got it in there.
And then a great celebration in the corner where everybody came off the bench. What was that feeling like?
Just the adrenaline was rushing. It was just an amazing feeling.
Yeah, Coach, so you got to love giving the senior a chance to go out there and get a goal in one of his last home games.
Yeah, Austin's he's a really good field player too. So in a game like this, we thought just give him a chance, see how it goes. You never know, we might need him up top down the road.
Yeah, that's true. You guys have won 4 in a row now, Coach. After you still have some kids out with some health and safety protocol issues, but how do you kind of feel about how things are going right now with everything that's been going on?
I think that we preach consistency in coaching and in the sports world, but these guys have learned to adapt to who knows who's going to be there today. And we've had some guys who, this far in the season have been able to step up in these games, and things are starting to click.
Yeah, it's kind of a constant changing lineup almost every game, isn't it?
I don't think we've played the same lineup 2 games in a row, or any 2 games this season.
Yeah. All right, well, congratulations on the big win. Thanks a bunch.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations to Austin Shepard on his first career varsity goal. And then after that win, the Eagles picked up a 1-0 win over Western Hills on Thursday. So the Eagles are now 9-5-1 on the season. They'll be back in action at home on Tuesday. Model Patriots bounced back from that loss to Central with a 6-3 win Saturday over Ashland Blazer. It was Anthony Cole and Keshav Bhandari with 2 goals and an assist each. The Patriots are 5-8-1 now in the season. They'll be back in action Monday at Frankfort Christian. And the Berea Community Pirates are 5-8-2 on the season. They had 3 matches last week. They lost to Madison Southern, obviously, like we mentioned earlier. They picked up a 10-0 win over Barberville on Thursday, and that was Peyton Jones with 3 goals and an assist. And then on Saturday morning, they suffered a 11-1 loss at home to Boyle County. They'll be back in action Tuesday at East Jessamine. In girls soccer action, the Madison Central Lady Indians moved to 11-4-1 on the season with three wins last week. They've won 4 straight overall. They beat LCA 3-1 on Monday. They beat Great Crossing 1-0 on Wednesday, and they beat Bryan Station 4-1 on Saturday evening. In the win over Great Crossing, it was Callie Lloyd with the only goal of the game. She converted a penalty kick in the final seconds on a rainy Wednesday night over at the turf fields at Madison Central. And then in the win on Saturday over Bryan Station, it was Jessica Stone with a goal and an assist. The Madison Southern Lady Eagles had just 1 game this week, and they suffered a 2-0 loss at Lafayette on Monday. They are 9-4 in the season, and they're scheduled to be back in action Monday at home against Frederick Douglass. The Model Lady Patriots had a 3-game winning streak snapped with a 3-0 loss on Saturday at home to Lincoln County. But earlier in the week, they had defeated East Jessamine 4-0, and they had also beaten Bryan Station 3-1. In the win over East Jessamine, it was Julia Luxon with a pair of goals. And on Wednesday, in the win over Bryan Station, it was Julia Luxon also with a goal and an assist. And Berea Community, unfortunately, did not play at all this week. They've had some issues with health and safety protocols and injuries and some other things. So we're supposed to play Madison Southern on Tuesday night, but that game had to be canceled. So they are hopeful to be back in action on Monday at home against East Jessamine, and they are 3-8-0 on the season. So, all right, moving on to high school volleyball action. Madison Central picked up a pair of wins last week, picking up a 2-0 win at home on Monday over Somerset, and then picking up a 3-1 win over Rockcastle County on Tuesday. And then over the weekend, they went over to the Thoroughbred Smash, which was held at Lafayette High School, and they finished as the runner-up in the championship division. So the Indians are playing some good volleyball right now, and they'll be back in action Wednesday at home against Great Crossing. The Madison Southern volleyball team is really in the midst of its toughest stretch of the season right now, a really hard part of the schedule. On Tuesday, they suffered a 3-2 loss at Scott County, and then on Wednesday, they suffered a 3-0 loss at Bryan Station. And that Tuesday loss to Scott County, they were actually up 2-0 and ended up losing in 5 sets. But they are now 9-5 on the season. They'll be back in action Tuesday at home against Lexington Catholic. Berea Community is 15-8 on the season. They only had really 1 match this week. They picked up a 3-1 win over Jackson County and then earned a forfeit victory over Bergen. But they'll be back in action Monday at home against Frankfort Christian. And the model volleyball team fell to 6-13 this week with losses to Sayre and Trinity Christian, and they'll be back in action Monday at home against Bourbon County. The 2 high school football games on Friday night were also homecoming. We want to make sure we mention the king and queen of both, and also show you the picture of both. At Madison Southern, it was Brooke Harrison and Jonah Ferguson were your queen and king, and over at Berea Community, it was Luke Seals and Isis Rogers were your king and queen. So congratulations to those young folks, and that's a lot of stuff to get through, folks, but there's so much good stuff going on. And like I said, we are heading into the postseason now. We have golf regionals this week. We'll have district soccer next week, and then volleyball after that. So it's getting down to the important part of the season. So as always, we will be there to document as much of this stuff as we can, and we'll have all that stuff out there for you on Richmond Register. All of our social media accounts are from richmondregister.com. And on Twitter, we're Richmond R Sports, and on Facebook, we're Register Sports. And I say this quite often, but I want to say it again. Just a big thank you to all the coaches. We couldn't get all this information without people getting it to us. So we really do appreciate everybody who takes the time to get us that stuff so we can share the good news about our local kids. So We really, really appreciate that. So we will be back in just a minute with Madison Central football coach Mike Holcomb.
Do you want to sponsor the weekly Richmond Register Sports Show? Contact the Richmond Register, richmondregister.com, and of course on Facebook or Twitter. Get the Richmond Register directly to your mailbox or get the app online and visit richmondregister.com.
Good morning. I'm here with Travis Grant, presenting with the IHOP Pancake Block of the Week. Congratulations on a great game. Presenting you with free pancakes for a year and a gift card to bring some of your friends and family. Congratulations on a good game. Thank you. Good morning. We're here with Aiden Howard to present the IHOP Pancake Block of the Week. Congratulations on a great game. Here is a plaque for you. Free pancakes for a year and a gift card to bring friends and family. Great job and a great game. Thank you.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing. Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms.
All right, well, welcome back. We are very pleased to be joined by one of the winningest high school football coaches in Kentucky history, and I know, Mike, you're very humble about that. You don't like to mention all those wins you had at Breathitt County and all that stuff, but Madison Central coach Mike Holcomb, thank you for coming in and joining us.
Oh, very glad to be here.
And Coach, if I had told you back over the summer you'd be 4-1 heading into your bye, I think you'd be very happy with that. So kind of give us a synopsis of the season so far, I guess.
Well, yeah, we knew that our first game LCA was going to be very tough, and knew they had an outstanding team and a lot of returners and several Division I players. We knew that. Dunbar had been in the regional finals, and didn't know a lot about South Laurel. I knew, Lafayette had played some teams close the year before, and we just ran into some teams there that we played real well against, and real proud of our kids. It's a testament to them that they've came out and done what we've asked them and caught on to the things that the coaches have asked them to do. So it's a good feeling. It's easier, I think, to go to practice when you're winning than it is when you're not having success.
Yeah, the last 2 years this team only won one game, and but you guys with a new coaching staff have brought kind of a new attitude in. And I know you like to say you're only 3-1 because you don't like to count the forfeit win over Southern because you'd like to reschedule that game. But you are technically, according to the rules, you are 4-1. So you got to feel good about how the new staff's come in and how the players have embraced you guys.
Well, yeah, we feel like it gets a little better every day, understanding us, and we're probably. I've been in coaching a very long time, and a lot of the assistants have too, and we've got some young coaches. So it's been a good mixture of that, and I feel like that they have learned, what we want day to day and how things will be. And, they want to say, call me old school and all those things, but we've kept up with the times a little bit. Everything we do in each day is to get ready for Friday. And, we have some contact, we do some hitting, and we do a little bit, but mostly we want to feel good on Friday night where we're fresh and can learn to play. And we start, I started doing that with the teams I've coached probably 20 years ago or longer. And I think in my younger days, we did a lot of beating up, maybe left the game, maybe left the Friday night game during the week. So, everything we're doing is to just prepare them for what they're going to see Friday, and be fundamentally sound and feel good and fresh where they can play their best on Fridays.
Okay, so you guys, compared to like 20 years ago, you're not as physical in practice. You don't go full on as much as you did back then.
No, and I think it goes back to the kids playing so much growing up. Probably 30 years ago when I started in Breathitt County, we probably didn't have the best feeder programs at that time, and then the feeder programs got better, so the kids understand. They've been taught fundamentals and they've taught how to block and hit. And I feel like that's the thing here. So it's just getting them into executing their offenses and defenses and knowing their roles. So, we got that from Coach Mummy years ago, and it's a fine line on it. You have to you have to have contact in order to play physical, but you want to be able to hit your best on Friday. So
balance there.
Yeah, he said that the body could only take so many train wrecks. So we want the train wrecks to be on Friday night, and we've got some kids that really have caused some train wrecks on Fridays, and that's what we're looking for.
Yeah. Well, when they introduced you as the coach back in the spring, one of the things that you said that stuck out to me, and I still kind of remember it in my head very distinctly, was you came back to Breathitt County and you signed on to be basically a volunteer assistant because one of your former players, Kyle Moore, had taken over the program. And you said in those 3 years or so that you said you learned a lot about coaching, kind of in a different role. So kind of what did you take from that experience?
Well, I just learned a little bit about what you had to go into details as an assistant, and the greatest thing about it was when the whistle blew at the end of the day, I got in the car and left. And so I really enjoy coaching on the field and in the practice sessions and in the games and those things. And of course, I've got caught back up in the responsibilities and duties of a head coach, which takes in there's quite a bit of time and effort and things to that. So. But I saw some things, that Kyle we helped with. I saw some different ways. I have a former player that coaches at Boyle County, Justin Haddock. So, I felt like maybe somewhere in our lives I mentored them a little bit, and now they've sort of the roles reversed. I've gone back and said, "What are y'all doing now? What are you doing with the younger kids? What are you doing with these guys? And what changes?" So. I got to study the game a little bit more than just be consumed with being a head coach.
Yeah, and you talk about being old school, and but I feel like even though you're a lot older than most of the people that these guys have been coached over the years, but it seems like they've embraced you, and it doesn't seem like you're and it doesn't seem like yes, you may be older than a lot of other guys, but you still have that passion. I saw you out at spring with a big smile on your face, and spring game, it's raining. And you're smiling, having a good time, and you still just have a great passion for this.
Yeah, I guess it's it's just something you get in your blood, and I don't know how much they, day to day, I don't know how much they embrace me. I think if they have success, it may be all worth it. But still want to work hard. We want to practice real fast and hard, and I don't like we don't want to stand around. We don't want to do a lot of talking when we practice. We want to get all that done before we hit the field. And sometimes they still, I think they're still struggling a little bit how fast I want them to go. And when we say let's line up right now. And those are little things that we've gotten better and better at. And I've always felt like if you're coaching, it's about as long as the kids and people around you know what the expectations are, and they know what you're asking and what they expect of them, then I think things go better. I can't just assume they know things, because what kids I've been around for years and years, that was just like a role assumed, coming up. They knew what we were going to do. So, but they've embraced things pretty well. And I think our assistant coaches are great, and I think they've embraced them very well too.
Yeah, and obviously you had so much success with that spread offense at Breathitt County, kind of the Hal Mummy system. But you guys here, it's traditionally been a running offense, and you guys. That's kind of where you hang your hat this year too, and so I guess you have to play to your strengths, and you got a great core of running backs here.
Yeah, we do. We have outstanding a group of running backs. We have seniors. We have AP there, who runs the ball extremely well. And we got Kenyatta Hard, sophomore. Brady Hensley, a sophomore. Blake Snyder, he's a senior, and we have several more kids. I really get cautious about throwing out names, but they have been able to run, and like I said, they're young. But I think the biggest thing is our offensive line has improved drastically, and we have a good group of receivers. I actually went into the last couple of games going to throw the ball a little bit more, but this, the score, you don't want to be throwing the ball on people so much when you're that. But I think our passing game is coming along well. We can continue to work on it, and I think when we need to do those things, and it'll be there for us. But we adapted that from Coach Mummy years ago, and then we got into some stuff that Florida did and some stuff West Virginia did. So it's become a cluster of different offenses sort of rounded into one, but it's still within a system that we do.
Yeah. Well, the Indians are ranked 9th this week in the Class 6A AP poll, and you guys have scored 165 points. That's the 4th most among any Class A school in the state through the first 5 weeks of the season. So the offense is definitely clicking. And I talked to you after the LCA loss, and you run the offense, and so you were very disappointed, and you said, "Hey, that's on me. I run the offense." So coming from that 21-12 loss to LCA, what did you guys go back and do offensively, kind of change things up?
We're just doing things better. It was nothing different, just more. LCA may have had more to do with that than us. Again, looking at them, they're one of the top. I'd say they're one of the top 5 teams, across the board and everything. And we just got better. Our kids responded to doing this better, do that better. Here's what we got to work better on. And doing that and maybe learning what certain kids could do. We found out AP could run some things. He broke a big one against them there late. And, he does a great job getting outside and sticking his toe and cutting. Brady ran the ball well that night from different sets. Kenyatta is, I just feel like when it cools down, Kenyatta is just an outstanding football player, and I think when it cools down that he'll feel even better running, more comfortable. And so, but the guys up front, Malachi and Evan, Aiden Howard, Noah Shipley and Max Murphy and Ryland Rose, those guys right there, they have all gotten better and better each day. And Coach Pointer working with our line, I think that's a big thing. Of course, when you have, we have excellent wideout in Jaden West, and when you have him out there, they already knew they had to double him. He gets double coverage a lot, so we've got to figure out ways where we can get him in a single coverage. But when they double, that leaves a little bit more space on the running game. So, but we look for ways, and our blockers, Travis Grant's done an outstanding job blocking from a tight end position. Jeff Kinley out on the wide end on that side has done a great job. But going back to our defense, the defense has put us in great positions. So we've been on a short field a lot, and that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I was looking it up earlier. I think it's 11 forced turnovers through really is only 4 games with the forfeit, and 2 defensive touchdowns. So those guys have, like I said, not only giving you the ball in great position, but they've also put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they've
themselves.
also scored some of those touchdowns. Some of those points are theirs, and a lot of them they've put us in created turnovers to put us in big places. I think in the South Laurel game, my first play was on the 7-yard line. It was a touchdown. So, but. Yeah, and Coach Blair, those guys on that side of the ball have done a great job. And, of course, they've been together a little bit, and I think it made them mesh easier. And the offense took a little bit of time for everybody to get, coaches too, to understand actually what we were trying to do.
Yeah. On defense, the shutout of Lafayette was the first shutout in 11 games for you guys. You got some seniors over there who we expected to do good things, Jeffrey Kinley, Adrian Sweat, Kyron Jackson, but sophomore Hayden Kaiser and junior Jarius Walker. So you got some younger guys on defense stepping up too.
Yeah, we do, and playing well. Of course, Kenyatta plays over there on that side of the ball. The Pearson twins, they play there. They play on that side. Brock Eads steps in all the time, but the front is very Adrian, like you said, and Kyron and Caden Ellington. I think Jake Muntz, he plays in there quite a bit, and we have a pretty good rotation of those guys. They've probably made us better, too, going against them every day. Coach Minner works with that D-line, and it's high intense with them all the time. So our offensive line going against them has really made them better. And several guys on that, on that side of the ball are playing, playing outstanding. And, of course, Jaden plays over there. Brady plays on that side of the ball. We got several kids that are able to go both ways. Just if they're not, they're able to anytime we need them.
Yeah, you always, anytime I ask about defense, you always, kind of defer the credit to William Blair, the defense coordinator, and you kind of leave that to him, don't you? Obviously you're the head coach, so you still oversee everything, but you kind of let him run his show over there.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, the Bucks, it's going to stop with me.
Yeah.
But I just completely trust him. I don't get in their business. I watch what they're doing, but I completely trust them. They spend hours and hours on preparation They bring the kids, their defensive kids, a lot of them in on Sunday. And we don't do a lot of that with offense because we just sort of pretty much do what we do. We have to block all the different fronts, and we work on that every day. So we just try to execute. Sometimes there's a few little things we can look at in 10 minutes to say, here's how they play us. But defensively is a hard job. Defense coordinator in high school is a very hard job because you never know what you're going to see from week to week. Yeah. And he's done a great job with that, and give him credit. Somebody we sort of don't talk a lot about is Trenton Aceta has done a great job kicking, with the extra points and the kickoffs.
Yeah, 18 of 19 on extra points.
Yeah, he's doing a great job with that.
So, and in high school, trust me, you've been around high school football a long time, so have I. Finding a reliable kicker at the high school level is not an easy thing to do.
No, it's not. And I always had somebody that
a soccer player or something, right?
Well, where I've been, there wasn't a lot of soccer players. Right. But at Letcher, I had one, but probably one of the best ones I had at Letcher. The kid played quarterback, defensive end. He punted, he kicked off, and he kicked extra points. And so we always had that multiple player, but sometimes in the fourth quarter, if you need a field goal, he's pretty wore out. So with a guy that kicks for you, and that's his main thing, that's a big plus for you.
Yeah. All right, going forward, the quarterback position, you guys have used two different quarterbacks. They both played really well. Kind of what do you see going forward at the quarterback position?
Well, Eli still started our force early, and he's a sophomore, and I feel like down the road, he's going to make a good quarterback. He is just pretty fast, and he didn't play in a spread offense a whole lot growing up. So, we probably asked him to do some things that was hard, and we made some just long throws, and quick throws, and things. So then when Hagan came out, Hagan had transferred in. He didn't realize they have a rule now: if you don't play one sport, if you haven't played in that sport for a year, you're eligible in that sport. They moved into this community and he was going to play basketball, and so, but he's eligible. We didn't really all know that he was eligible for football, and so when he decided he wanted to try to play, we worked him in and worked with him and got him ready. And he grew up playing football on a spread offense, and he runs and throws the ball real well, and is able to make real quick decisions, and just gives us a little bit of added dimension there coming out of that. A running quarterback's pretty hard to account for sometimes, so he gives us an added dimension there that we're using right now.
Okay. All right, moving forward, things get pretty tough here. You're going to have to, this Friday night, you're taking on maybe the number one, but let's see when the new rankings come out, but possibly the number one ranked Class A team in the state in Pikeville, and then after that you got a trip to Oldham County to start off for district play, and of course Oldham was also 5-0, so it gets a lot tougher from here.
Yes, it does, and it gets it's down that time of the year. It's hard to believe you're about halfway through or halfway and starting down the downhill part. And I told our kids when we started in the summer, I said, once the season starts, this is going to fly by, and it always does. Time you turn around, you practice a couple of days, it's Thursday, and you're ready to play again. But Pikeville is a very strong team. I've watched them for years, and we saw them in 7-on-7. Have an excellent quarterback, coach's son, Chris McNamee, who played at Eastern, and I've known him for years. He's got an excellent son playing quarterback. They have a Lockhart kid at wide receiver who's very good, and a Birchfield kid that's a running back and they have all the pieces going around. They have a big D line, and they're a solid football team, very solid football team. So yeah, it's going to be a big challenge for us, but I think we're ready for a challenge, and we're excited to put our kids out there and see what they do.
All right. Well, congratulations on all success so far. Good luck the rest of the way. Hope you keep it rolling here. It's been fun. There's just a new enthusiasm around the program, and it's a lot of excitement, and it's been fun to watch.
Well, I thank you very much, and I'm excited I'm just pleased our kids are having success, and hopefully they enjoy it. I know it's a lot of hard work for them, but as I told them, they just come through once, Yeah. I've been at it a long time, and our coaches are going to be this is their one shot, and we try not to look back. We just want to take today and move forward, and every day we just try to get better, and they've done that. So we're happy for them, very happy.
Yeah, all right. Well, that'll wrap up this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. Thank you so much for watching. As always, you can catch all the replays and everything on our social media sites, Richmond R Sports on Twitter, Register Sports on Facebook, and richmondregister.com. So have a great week. We'll see you next time.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Do you want to sponsor the weekly Richmond Register Sports Show? Contact the Richmond Register, richmondregister.com, and of course on Facebook or Twitter. The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Thanks for watching the Richmond Register Sports Show. For more information about all things sports in Madison County, log on to richmondregister.com or on Twitter. And like us, Register Sports on Facebook. Get the Richmond Register directly to your mailbox or get the app online and visit richmondregister.com.